So namaste and welcome to this session. We're using a different system today, so I have to remember to look up at the camera, not down at my screen. So I just want to give a warm welcome to the ones who are present in this practice in their homes, and also today I am very well accompanied by Alicia and by Sandy, by Luis. So I'm not alone in the space here physically. So yeah, we're going to dive straight into our practice today, beginning with a little introduction. So as you know, today we are opening the space to connect a little bit more with the heart chakra. So as we did the other day, we're going to actually just begin by touching ourselves physically to just really connect more deeply into this space physically in the body. So you can begin to bring your hands to your sternum, and I just invite you to really become sensitive to this place between the breasts, between the nipples, and you can just press gently. You can maybe identify with your intuition this more delicate point. And it's actually not very easy for us to get our hand towards the back. Perhaps if you've got more flexibility, you can, just to feel the vertebra which corresponds with this center, and you can just push slightly on the sternum, on the spine, and then release and close your eyes. And be aware of the sensation which continues. Be aware of the breath between these spaces. Visualizing how this energy related to the rhythm of your breath moves as you breathe inwards from the front of the body, from the sternum, towards the back, towards the root of this chakra, and then forward again, flowering in the chest as you breathe out. So just really come into this space of subtle awakening with this psychic breath. Good. You can slowly come back and open your eyes. So here we're talking about the heart chakra. So we can all already see that we are really coming up into a different energy, a different space. I think that today what came for me, at least this morning, was the idea that we can focus a little bit more on this quality of self-care, of compassion, of love, and really coming into the space of caring for our needs, because this space is very much related to love, which quite often we don't fully comprehend its truest meaning. But maybe we can begin by actually showing this love and this compassion towards ourselves, because it's only from that sensation or direct experience of love in its purest form that we can actually hope to express it or to recognize it. And this chakra is very much also a polar chakra, which means that we have two breasts, we have two sides of our chest, we have two lungs, we only have one heart, but I'll mention that afterwards. So we can also really consider here, I'd like to see today, our difference between our left and our right sides. In yoga, we talk about our receptive and our emissive side. So we would say that our left side is more where we actually receive energy. Yeah, we're receiving. It's more of the energy is moving inwards, whereas the right side of our body is our more emissive side. So it's the side where we're actually expressing or giving. So it's very nice for us to actually recognize where is our balance in life in respects to what we receive or we feel, and what we can give or express. And for many people, they can say, we're talking about this idea of love. As I said, we're not going to put any definition to what love is at this moment. But in terms of affection or intimacy, sometimes we would say, oh, I really find it difficult to receive. I'm not so comfortable receiving, but I'm very, very happy giving or expressing my care. So automatically, it's very interesting for us to kind of actually consider this within this concept of our emissive and receptive area. And in fact, I was having a conversation just yesterday with a friend who's training into muscular chains, and she mentioned that there is a certain muscular chain which is very much related to our openness, which is found on the right side of the body, which is showing that in fact also on a physical level, maybe this balance is not entirely there, in the same way as the heart is only on one side of the body. So I find that very, very interesting. And in fact, going a little bit deeper into this story, the heart is on the left-hand side, but we have different layers of our body, and there is a very important, more subtle chakra, which is actually on the right side of the chest in our astral body. So somehow this balance is maybe achieved on a more subtle level, on a more on a more energetic level than on a physical level. So ultimately there is balance. But I'd like this just to invite you to actually really consider specifically in your lives this quality of openness, of loving, and this of receiving and giving, which is more comfortable for you, and really use this practice to initiate or to at least invoke that quality of balance. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to go a little bit more into that. I just also wanted to mention that the skin as an organ is the organ which is related to this chakra. So quite often when we have emotional issues or heart related to issues, I'm not talking about the physical heart, I'm talking more about the emotional heart here. We have eruptions on the skin, eczema, or dermatitis, or other conditions. And we know that when we're nervous and the breath is affected, this can also have repercussions on our skin. So it's something very much related on there, which is also obviously related to the touch. And we express our love and our affection through touch. So these are all aspects related to this chakra. Obviously, it's also related to the breath. Yeah, the element that is related to the heart chakra is air, the air element. And we know that the air, when it touches the skin, is actually, there's a reaction on the skin level. So there's this relation between the skin, the wind, the breath, and this very much capacity of touch. So we're going to mention this. I don't know quite how we're going to draw in so many things into the practice today, but we'll see how we can. And and then also to mention with this air element, obviously the breath is very important. So we can really focus this week on our breathing, not only breathing exercises, which we will see during the class, but also being aware of the breath and how our breath changes with the different emotions that we feel. And when the heart space is closed, the breathing is also reduced. When we feel open, we can really also expand our breath. And when we are really kind of tight, the breath is also reduced. So we can modify our use of our breath as a way of coming into a greater expansion of the heart. Yeah, good. So maybe you can just type into your chat box before we start the physical practice how you feel right now, and with respect to the heart chakra, if there's anything specifically that you have been experiencing on an emotional level or relation level that you would like to just mention as a way of focusing the energy for the practice. So I'm going to ask the two people who are here present if they want to share. No, nothing specific?
No. I think my left side is really, I feel very, very open. And I feel that the right side is a little bit more contracted.
Okay.
Sometimes I can arrive to open both of them, but I need to be very, very conscious of that.
Yeah.
Because if not,
it doesn't do it by itself.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, we have a comment here from Alicia. She said she feels her left side more open, and at some point the right side, unless she puts her attention there, is more closed. And I'm just reading here. Alison says a little anxious. Okay, so this is good. This practice is going to help you definitely to open up this space and just allow yourself to be aware of what's coming up for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the anxiety is going to end, because especially when we're working with the breath, it's maybe even bringing something up to the surface. So maybe you can comment again at the end how you feel. And yeah, Ione is saying she finds it more difficult to receive than to give. This is quite common. I think that I can also feel identified with this. And it's also related to this self-care and like feeling worthy. You know, I am worthy of being loved. Yeah. So this is something that we can really say to ourselves. You know, this self-love is this opening to receive. Yeah. So let's do that in this class. I haven't received a message from Jorge. I think he's oh yeah. Yeah, he also shares this, echoes this, can learn to receive more. Yeah. Okay, he began to nibble on his fingers. Nervousness. Maybe. Yeah, this is the arms are like the wings of the heart. So maybe the fingers are like the feathers. Yeah. Great. So let's get started. We can just close our eyes before we start. I'm going to go back to my place here. And yeah, what's coming is we're going to start by using the voice. Yeah. We can actually associate the different chakras, but also just the different major areas of the body with different vowel sounds. And in the training that I give, we talk about the breath, combining breath with the singing of the vowels. So the vowel sound which is related to this area of the body is the ah, this open ah, the first letter of the alphabet. Yeah. So we're going to, instead of beginning this session with the singing of the om, which is a very round sound, we're going to actually begin the sessions just singing the vowel ah 3 times, just to open up the jaw, but also to really open up the space of the chest. And you can have your attention, your awareness in the chest area to start. So let's close our eyes, settle into the heart space. Feeling the presence of the breath here, honoring this space. And I invite you to deepen the breath through the mouth, so that you can open the throat area and really feel the air flowing in and out of the lungs through the mouth. And with the next out breath, finding the tone that's good for you, you can sing ah 3 times. Breathe naturally and just observe. Good. So you can bring a hand or both hands toward the heart's area, and I just want you to start by massaging in circles. remembering that the thymus gland is here. And then you can even just tap onto your sternum with the fingertips and just bring some energy into this space, which is also great for our immune system. And then you can bring the hands down towards the knees and just take away a cushion if you have a cushion, so you're really sitting down onto your sit bones. And then as you breathe in, just bring the chest forward, breathing out, rounding the back. Bringing some movement into the spine, but really moving from the sternum. Breathing in as you pull the chest through between the arms, breathing out as you draw the back backwards. And if you feel comfortable with this movement, you can go a little bit faster now. In, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X, in, X. Come back into the center, breathe in, lift the arms above the head. Hold the breath inside, interlace your fingers, your head resting on your hands, opening the elbows outwards. And as you breathe out, relaxing the hands back towards the knees. The palms facing upwards to keep the chest open and just really come into a space of observation. And we're going to do one more round like this. You can hold your knees or the front shin, breathing in, coming forward, out, coming backwards, really bringing some flexibility into the spine, but with your awareness in the chest area. Breathing in, pulling the chest through between your arms. Breathing out, rounding as you move backwards, really feeling into the dorsal spine. Continue finding your own rhythm. What's most comfortable for you without pushing. Coming back into the center now, breathing in, lifting the arms above the head, interlace the fingers, rest your hands on your head on your hands, pulling the elbows outwards, chest forward, sustaining the breath inside, but without forcing. And as you need to, just release. Palms facing upwards, relax, observe. Sustain the attention in the heart space. And I just invite you to visualize, as you contemplate the heart space, two interlocking triangles, one pointing up and one pointing down, together forming a six-pointed star. And if this visualization comes easily for you, that's wonderful. And if not, it really doesn't matter. It's an invitation. Good. So you can stand up now. We're going to continue with our warming exercises. So we're just going to start shaking out the body. We're just going to shake out the body. You can even just bend your knees, release any tension. Deepen the breath. Use your voice if you want. Good. The shaking can get a little bit softer, a little bit slower, more subtle, coming back into your center. Take a nice deep breath. Really embodying the awareness. Separate your feet now. The arms at the height of the shoulders, the knees slightly bent, and begin to twist from one side to the other, keeping the sternum lifted so you can really feel that this movement is opening up even more the chest area. Feel how the shoulder blades press inwards, encouraging this openness in the heart. Breathe generously. And you can begin to lower the arms until you finally come back in towards your center. Once again, just really stabilize yourself on your feet and bring the awareness into the chest, into the upper back. Just really welcoming whatever is coming for you. Good. And we're going to open up the sides of the body more, which is also helping us with our breath. So you can join the feet now for this exercise, what we call Tiryakadasana. You can interlace your fingers, push the palms down, breathe in, come up above your head. Root your heels, activate your abdomen, activate the buttocks, and then gently move over to one side, breathing in the center, breathing out towards the other side. Opening up each side of the body, as well as mobilizing the spine, the internal organs, encouraging fluidity. One more round. Come back up to the center with the in-breath. With the out-breath, release, separate the feet, palms forward, eyes closed. Take a breath. And just welcome the sensations as they arise. Be aware also of any changes in the breath. Great. Join your feet again and bend your knees with the hands on the knees. We're going to begin to trace circles on a physical level, really warming the joints in the lower part of the body. And you can change direction. Come back towards your center. And just release, observe. Feel the energy in your joints, but also how the energy rises up towards the heart. And just be aware of the changes in the sensations in your body and the quality of mind, the quality of emotion after this brief warming. Good. So we're going to continue with some postures. We're going to begin with an exercise, a very simple posture called Talasana. The feet are slightly separated, and you can root the feet into the ground. I'm going to take off my socks. And we're going to turn the palms outwards. As we turn the palms outwards, observe this opening in the chest. And we're going to conserve this opening in the chest as we lift the arms up above the head. Good. And just really rise up, lifting your hands higher. But keep the facial muscles relaxed, the tips of the fingers relaxed. And you can just draw inwards and upwards the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. So you're really kind of making some kind of energy lock in the base of your body. And the reason we do this on an energy level is that you can receive the energy which flows in through the tips of the fingers, through the arms, into the heart space. But you can sustain this energy by this lower contraction, so it doesn't just flow right the way through down your legs towards the ground. So you feel you're sustaining with this contraction in your pelvic floor, your pelvic girdle, the energy that you receive through your hands. In fact, the body looks like a glass, and you can really connect with this openness and this receiving of this cosmic flow of energy, of the energy which is in space, in the environment, in the air. This very much refined and invisible force. And allow the breath to be easy. Allow yourself to be mentally present. And you can be aware here, as we sustain the posture, of the differences between the left and the right side of your body. So maybe at some point one of your arms begins to get tired or begins to lower on its own accord. So I just encourage you to kind of compensate by really working a little bit harder with the side which is a little bit weaker. Establishing this quality of balance. Good. Slowly release the arms. And you can separate the feet, relax fully. With the eyes closed, take a breath and just be aware of what's coming for you in this moment. Sustain the attention in the hands, the arms, and the chest area. Great. Okay, we're going to come straight down towards the ground now. So you can sit onto your knees here. And we're going to stimulate a movement here, which is actually joining two postures. The first posture is with the arms extended and the forehead on the ground. This posture is called Shashankasana. And then we're going to also combine it with Bhujangasana, which I think you may already know, which is the cobra pose, where we activate the buttocks and and rise up. Doesn't have to be very high without forcing. So we're going to be combining these two. So you can just watch the movement that we're going to be tracing. We're going to keep the face as close to the ground as possible, and we're just actually really pushing forward and lifting up, and from there coming back onto the knees, rounding the back and coming back to touch the forehead on the ground. So you can begin to initiate this movement. Combining with the breath. Breathing in as you come up and towards your cobra. Breathing out as you sit back towards your heels. Activating this energy in the arms. And really caring for your back, so don't force yourself in the cobra. One more round. And when you've finished, you can steady yourself in this position with your forehead on the ground and bring your arms behind you so you can relax your shoulders. And take a good breath out the mouth to release any tension which you've accumulated out of effort. And I'm going to encourage you just to grab onto your right wrist so that the hands are resting on your back. Taking your right wrist with your left hand, but at the same time relaxing fully the shoulders. And just rest in the heart space, in the inner cave of your being. Just inviting you to come inside a little bit more deeply. Allowing your awareness to inhabit this inner realm. Good. So you can release the hands again. Come up to a sitting position, palms facing upwards, and just take a moment with the eyes closed to feel this quality of openness in the chest. And just allow there to be this opening. And this opening comes from trust. Yeah? So just allow yourself to come into a space of trust as well. And we're going to explore once again this position of the cobra. But we're going to sustain it now. So if you do have a delicate back, please keep your forearms on the ground. We can begin by lying down with the forehead on the ground. Place your hands, if you're doing the full pose, underneath your shoulders, keeping the elbows close to the sides of the body. Stretch out the legs and the feet. Activate the buttocks, the pubic bone rooting into the ground. And with the in-breath, lift yourself up first with the muscles of your back. And then once you get to your maximum position, you can begin to root the hands into the ground. And without lifting your shoulders, bring yourself up. And just see how you feel in that pose. If you need to, you can bring your hands forward, slide your hands forward so you can sustain yourself more comfortably. And you can be aware of the distance between the pubic bone, which is touching the ground, and the center of the chest, and just open the space more so you can lift your sternum further up towards the sky. And this is possible even if your forearms are touching the ground. If you want, you can lift your face slightly, eyes are closed. And just settle your awareness into the heart. And you just allow this very spontaneous movement of the energy of the pelvis to rise up towards the heart. But at the same time, you can connect with the energy from the cosmos, like a golden ray which is shining on your heart. Opening up to receive the blessings that life is willing to offer to you. Remembering, as we said, I am worthy of receiving bountiful, abundant love. Good. So you can slowly release the pose. Find a comfortable position to relax. Breathe, release anything that's coming up through the mouth. But sustain your awareness in the heart space. Great. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. So you can sit back once more with the arms towards your side and just breathe into the lower back, just releasing and integrating the effects of the previous posture on the physical body. Good. So I invite you to sit up now. And we're going to keep in this position on the knees. But if you want, you can sit on a cushion or use a block just to be as comfortable as possible. Maybe you have a meditation stool. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to switch on the lights. I can see we need a little bit more light today. It's not so sunny outside. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so find a comfortable position. Yeah, and you may need for this exercise, if you don't have a yoga belt, just a scarf or sock or something you can use if you need to, because we're going to try and join our hands behind our back. So you can just check first if you reach, and if not, use something. Okay. So I'm just going to show you from behind so you can see what we'll be doing. Yeah, we're going to breathe in and lift the arms up. And as we breathe out, you're going to lower the right arm and the hands join behind the back with or without some added support. Yeah. And once you come into the posture, just make sure that you haven't overarched your back. So bring the belly back in towards the back, straightening out the lower back. You can come into the posture, yeah. Okay. But at the same time, you can exaggerate the lifting and the opening of the chest area. The left elbow is pointing up towards the sky. And just really imagine that the left elbow is like an antenna, which is receiving energy, this cosmic subtle energy. And this energy begins to flow through the lifted arm as it comes into the left side of the chest. And you know, we have several chakras in the chest area. And two of the important chakras are actually located where we have our nipples. So you can bring your awareness into the left nipple, to the left breast, to the left side of the chest. And with an easy, natural breath, just feel you're opening up this whole space, this left receptive side of you. And at the same time, you're really opening to this idea of receiving. I open to receive. And to accept this quality of love and compassion that is out there. I'm ready. And just really breathe into this. Good. So you can release. And the palms facing upwards. Close the eyes, take a breath, and be very aware of the effects. Really tuning in to the left side. And honoring this capacity to receive. And you can just compare with the right side of the chest just to see the difference. And let's balance out with the other side. So you can breathe in, lift the arms up, initially opening both sides of the body. And then lowering the left arm so that you can join the hands with the right elbow pointing upwards now. Once again, bring the abdomen inwards just to straighten out the lower back a little bit and exaggerate the opening of the upper part of your back and chest. Bringing the elbow, if you can, further backwards, the head is centered. Ensuring that the breath is flowing nicely. If at some point your ankles are uncomfortable, you can even come up like this. And really draw in the energy through the lifted arm, through the right side. And bring this energy consciously in towards the chest, the right side of the chest. Awakening on a physical level, all of the small pockets of air in the lung. Really drawing the energy into the right nipple, nurturing this energy center. And there is this understanding that we can give only what we know. We can express that which we have experienced. So having received this energy, we are also able to express, to share. So that's enough for today. You can just release the pose, palms facing upwards. Breathe and be fully aware of the sensations that arise on the right side of your chest. And if you can, try and feel both sides of the chest at the same time. And you can bring your hands to your heart space, to the center of the chest. Harmonizing the left and the right, harmonizing the receiving and the giving. And just connecting this quality of universal and unconditional love. Beginning by offering it to ourselves. Good. So you can release the hands towards the lap now, and we're going to prepare for some breathing exercises. So you can find a comfortable position. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the screen. And you can make sure your room is ventilated. And we're not going to force the breath, so I'm going to suggest some exercises, but if you're feeling dizzy or there's something which is not feeling right for you, then you can stop, or you can just do it a little bit more gently. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you can begin by deepening your breath, breathing through the nose. As you breathe in, expand your abdomen, expand the chest area up towards the top of the chest, the area of the clavicular, the collarbones. Sustain the breath slightly inside, but concentrate on your heart space. And then breathe out gently, lowering the shoulders, feeling how the collarbones drop, the chest begins to contract. And finally, the abdomen also contracts, bringing the lower belly in towards the spine. Let's repeat. Breathe in, opening abdomen, expanding the chest up towards the shoulders. Sustain the breath inside, concentrating on the heart space. Breathing out, releasing, dropping the shoulders, the chest closes, and finally the abdomen also empties, squeezing inwards. Do a couple more rounds by yourself, just preparing the lungs. Final round. During the hold, really pushing the energy mentally in towards the heart space. And when you finish this particular round, just breathe naturally and observe the sensations. Maybe you can notice some heating in the area of the chest. And if any emotions arise, just be aware of them, but without analyzing. Good. So we're going to combine this holding of the breath with some movement in the upper body. So we're going to, maybe you want to watch first, we're going to take a deep in-breath, and as we hold the breath, we're first going to move the right shoulder in big circles without releasing the breath. If we can manage to do 5, that's great. And then we release, we bring the hands upwards, and we just really activate the energy in the arms. And then breathing out, bringing the hands back down. Yeah. So I'll repeat it. If you can't hold the breath for all of that duration, you can hold the breath during the shoulder movements and then release and then take another breath while we're moving the energy through the arms. But if you've got a greater capacity to hold the breath, you can do the whole thing during the breath retention. Okay, so let's try. We're going to start on the left side, our receptive side. So take a big deep in breath. Sustain the breath, mobilizing the whole of the left shoulder. Bringing the hands up, moving the energy through the right arm, through the left arm, and breathing out, pushing the energy back down. Take a nice natural breath just to feel the effects. And let's repeat the other side. Take a deep in-breath and mobilize the right shoulder now. Bringing the arms up, moving the energy through the left arm, pressing onto the skin, awakening these wings. Breathing out, pushing the energy back down. Take a breath. Observe. Let's repeat into the left side. Breathe in. Sustain the air inside as you mobilize the whole of the scapular area on the left side. 5 circles. Bringing the hands up to the heart space and pushing the energy through the right arm. Wrapping it around the left arm. Breathing out, pushing the energy back down. Breathe easily, observe. Coming into the other side, take a nice in-breath. Mobilizing the right shoulder. Bring the arms up, pushing the energy through the left, awakening this left wing, your right wing. Pushing the energy down on the out breath and relax. And just be aware of the effects, palms facing upwards on your knees, sustaining the energy in the upper chest. And just sustain this position. Sustain this quality of attention in the heart space. And I'd like you to somehow identify a connection between the space above the head and the heart space. As you breathe in, the energy moving from the heart up towards the top of the head. As you breathe out, the energy moving from the top of the head down into the heart space. And I invite you to connect with the space above the head, so that as you breathe in, the energy is rising up to the space above the head. And we're going to establish a deeper connection with this by inverting the direction of the breath. So as you breathe in now, I want you to really suck in the energy through the top of the head in towards the heart. And as you breathe out, you can release the energy from the heart space up towards the space above the head. Breathe in, suck in the energy towards the heart. Breathe out, release the energy up towards the space above the head. And it might help you to think about a spring. As you breathe in, this energy contracts the spring in your heart. And as you breathe out, the spring bounces upward, thrusting the energy up towards the sky space. And following this breath, just bring the awareness back down into the heart. Be very present. And allow the awareness to merge with the heart space, so that you're not watching it from somewhere else. You are being that. The watcher and what is watched are one. Good. So if you feel like just sustaining yourself in this sitting position, in this space of contemplation, you're very welcome. But if you would like to spend just the last couple of minutes lying down and releasing the body, please do so. You can lie facing upwards. And if you want to keep the chest space open, you can even fold a blanket or use a small pillow and place it underneath in the area of the upper body, as I'm showing now, just to keep the chest open during your relax. And as you relax, just be aware of the breath moving in the body. The presence of the breath in the chest, in the heart space. Feeling that every in-breath unites and flows into the out-breath. That each out-breath flows and unites with the in-breath. That each in-breath is an opportunity to receive. Each in-breath is an invitation to open. Each out-breath is an invitation to release. Each exhale is an invitation to give. Allow there to be generosity and allow this release to be free from attachment. No holding back. In the same way, this in-breath, this opening is coming from trust. From a deep desire to taste the fruits of this creation. I invite you to breathe in love and to breathe out love. Breathing in love towards yourself. Breathing out love towards the whole creation. And you can extend this quality of loving awareness in towards the whole of your body. As you slowly come back to feel the weight of the body on the ground, feeling into your fingertips, into your toes. Feeling gratitude for having this body and being alive. And when you feel like it, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And slowly come back into a sitting position. And just in this closing space, what seems to come is just this invitation to be open to feel very honestly what comes up, not only now, but in any moment of the day. Just honoring the feelings which arise in the chest and the heart space. Just recognizing that some of those feelings are comfortable and others not so comfortable. But when we connect with this quality of loving compassion, of kindness and trust, there can be a capacity to transform what's coming in with what we can release and manifest. So let's just close this space. We're going to just close the space singing the mantra Prema, which is one of the words for love. Namaste. Thank you very much for this space that we have shared this morning. You want to come in to say goodbye to everyone? We have gone a little bit over time. It's 11:15, so I hope no one has to run as a consequence. And just wishing you a wonderful day. So I'm going to just click so I can see everyone and say thank you, goodbye. Ione, have a lovely day. Adios, Jorge. Goodbye, Alison. Have a lovely day. And love to all the ones who are going to be using the recording later. Bye, Alicia and Sandeep. Hariom.